Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Never End Podcast, the podcast open to everyone, especially our Lord, President Hiroshi Tanahashi. My name is Luke. I'm your host of the Never End Podcast, and with me, as always, is... I think I did that backwards, but anyway, it is Mr. Guy. Say hello, Mr. Guy.
Hello, Mr. Guy. Hello, Luke. And hello to the listeners. And hello to President Ace Tanahashi. Today, we're going to talk about 2 Road to Tokyo Dome shows on our last episode before the end of the year. And, our last episode we're recording before the end of the year. We're going to have another episode come out in 1 week's time, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes, we will. And I guess for the last time this year, I got to be a professional. Anyway, there's ways people can contact and interact with us if they wish to. We are on the Tweety. I am at Grumpy2EB. Mr. Guy is at Drucifer Tweets. And collectively, we are at Never Open Pod. If you want to send us a written or voice email, you can do that too. neveropenpod@gmail.com. Oi, if you want to watch us, you can watch us. Yay! We have a YouTube's. It's Never End Podcast. Just look it up. Hit the subscribey thing, like all our stuff, do lots of comments, even though we probably will forget that you commented and forget, but you know, it's a new technology. We're not used to it. The brand new thing of YouTube. Anyway, there's one more thing, Mr. Guy. Even though it's almost Christmas. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You can still buy someone a Christmas present from our Teespring store if you have any left over. Sasha Banks, Barney. There you go. Yes. So yeah, get yourself some merch that'll make you look never as. There you go.
Yes.
People can even see my face because I do that.
All right. And yes, you can do all those things that Luke said, and you can actually get to that website by checking the show notes on our podcast, if you were ever wondering. But Luke, we got a little bit of news. We talked about it there at the top. The New Japan out of nowhere just announced a new president, and the president of the company is Tanahashi.
President Tanahashi, who's also a stank belt champ, and he's going for the TV title. Look, this is interesting because I'm like, all right, Tanahashi, I guess he was never going from New Japan. Like, we all knew that, right? Like, if you cut him, does he not bleed New Japan? So it's no surprise that he does backstage shit. Like, I'm not shocked at all. He's probably helping training, all that kind of stuff. What I am a little worried is, like, I don't want to see a Tanahashi Gato where he's just going out there losing every single time, and I don't want to ever have the thought of this. I wonder who's going to get pinned in this match. Oh, probably Tanahashi. Please don't do that to me. Also, don't do the opposite of that, where he's like, President, bitch, lay down. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think any of those things are going to happen because, remember the last president was just some old guy and some business guy. This is like business stuff. It's not, it's not wrestling stuff. It's like the business side, which is weird. But at the same time, maybe he's just there to fill in because they fired the old guy for something. I don't know. We don't really, that's not what our show does. Our show doesn't know about the backstage stuff. We don't care about that. In fact, there's been a bunch of backstage like tease stuff come out this week, and I haven't even looked at it. I don't even give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, but if you want that, other podcasts are happy to provide that for you, and probably they do a good job. I don't know. I don't listen to them. So another piece of news that came out is that New Japan signed Soberano Jr. for a year. Okay.
Cool. Is he junior? Was he in World Tag League or Junior Tag League? He was in the normal one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was with Atlantis. Yeah, no. Okay. All right. Well, hey, that's fine. It'll be nice to see a luchador around all year. Hey, Titan, why aren't you in LHA? Hey, Pirate dude, Aren't you also in LIJ? What the
I
fuck
don't
are
think
you
so.
two? And New Japan's like, nah, we want this sober dude. I mean, Sobrano.
A soba noodle dude, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting who is on Wrestle Kingdom this year and who isn't. You know, because like Robbie Eagles not on Wrestle Kingdom. You know, there's quite a few people missing that you would think will be on there. But at the same time, you know, I feel like that it's like they went big on the big matches, and then the not so big matches they didn't like blow their wad on. You know what I mean? Like I guarantee you, it's cost a lot of money to get Daniel Bryanson, whatever his name is, Bryan Danielson, get him into Japan for this show. I bet you that costs a lot of money. I don't think it costs as much maybe to get Hikuleo and ELP there, if you know what I mean. So that's just what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, so that's the explanation, is it? Oh, we've blown our wad on BD, DB, whatever the fuck his initials are. Now, but who's going to face the champs at Wrestle Kingdom? Should we get FTR too expensive? What about Ricky Starks and Big Bill? Also too expensive. All right, Hikuleo and
I feel like that Big Bill and Ricky Starks would cost very little to get to Japan, but
I know it's stupid, but like I know you don't
is
care.
Big
But
Bill?
oh, Big Bill,
that is so.
Big Bill is what was his other fucking name in W? He's Enzo's ex-tag, but
Oh, okay. He's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that.
Yeah, you can't teach it.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I don't know. I like him better with Ricky Starks because I'm biased and I love me some Ricky Starks, and I won't hear a bad word.
I don't have anything to say about him. You know.
Okay, cool.
So, I mean, Luke, something else got announced this week, which is kind of we don't really know what to make of it, but I guess it's cool. You know, in Japan, the companies always seem to work together, like always. Like since I've been watching, you know, maybe when I first started watching New Japan, it was a little more rocky, but they still had a relationship with Noah, you know, back then, and they've always had these relationships. But now there's some new like. It's not all together now, but it's something like that where it's every wrestling promotion that's worth a shit is going to be in some giant show, and they've all promised to like have a working relationship, and it probably has something to do with those Frontier Zone matches and stuff like that. So I don't know what it means, but it's a thing.
It is a thing. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were really on speaking terms because nothing had really happened as far as me watching it live in terms of cross promotion until all this Noah stuff started happening. I mean, it's good. Band together, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. They're worried about something. They're worried about maybe another COVID or the big bad WWEs. I wouldn't be worried too much about WWE right now. WWE isn't poaching all your fucking stars.
I mean, we'll see. Okada free agent rumors are heating up.
That's right.
He hired an agent. He's hired like you know, I don't know, Scott Boris. We'll just say that. He's hired that agent, and now, you know, he's trying to go at WWE. They got to match that offer, you know, and it's I mean, we'll stay tuned because our year-end celebration episode is going to have a lot of information about the details of Okada's upcoming contract negotiation and free agent rumors. So
that's right. A friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of yours, his mother is like Okada's contract lawyer or something.
It's a stepmom, actually.
That's right. Yeah.
He calls her mom, but it's his stepmom, really. We just want to be accurate, you know.
Hey, Missy. I mean, Mom.
Oh man, your stepmom's hot. That shit's so funny.
Shut up, Ted.
Now, Luke, every year for the past couple years, New Japan has had a goofy bodybuilding contest, like pose off thing, and they're doing it again this year. And I guess we need to make our predictions. Who's going to win?
Well, is Show in the competition? Because if he is, he's still losing because he's in House of Torture, and heels don't win bodybuilding competitions. We all know that. Don't be fucking ridiculous, everyone. Come on. You know, but man, I am hoping it's one of two people. I mean, like, I just saw Bread with a picture of Bread with like rolls on his abs, and I'm like, you should have 6 of them there, dude. But that's okay. It's all right. It's fine. But I also see a little bit too much of Taguchi, which is nothing unusual. And then I see a little bit too much of El Desperado. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind.
The
It's El
Ace too.
Desperado.
Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like these are like almost fully nude shots, and it's a little much, honestly. I think it's pornographic in nature.
You fucking American. Psycho. Oh, it's like when you watch something and aliens or something have to refer to Americans or another country, and they're like, oh yeah, they're all puritanical and shit.
It's true.
Doki, I want Doki. Like, look at this guy.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Doki looks awesome. You know, his are not pornographic. His are artistic. You know, but they are. You know,
they really are. Man. See, I won't laugh anymore when I see someone as tiny as Doki decide, I'm going to suplex De La Luna, Oscar Loeb, or someone tall. Instead, I'm just going to be like, yeah, he could lift you up. He could lift 2 Oscar Loebs up and suplex the shit out of him.
One of the first things you hear when you train for wrestling is they just want to quash any thoughts of this, and they'll tell you anybody can slam anybody. And it's pretty true. It's almost 100% true. So, you know, it's all trick. It's all trick.
Don't destroy wrestling for me. Do you mean everyone could really slam Bad Luck Fale? And they just don't?
If he helps, then yeah. You know, if he's helping out.
I know. Of course. All right, Okada. Your contract ends in 3 weeks. We want to see you deadlift Fale before you leave.
Back injury, he's out for a year. You know, sorry. WWE gets, they sign him, but he's out for a year with back injury. You know, and he has to come to America where they don't have health insurance. So it's just bad news all around.
Man, I wouldn't fuck with New Japan. All right, the biggest thing.
That's true.
All right, do you want to? Shall we start with some Corrigan Hall Road 2 goodness?
That's right. We are at Corrigan Hall for both these shows. Both shows, they flew Walker Texas Stewart out to Japan for these shows. So we got him and Chris on commentary. I did not listen to the English commentary on all of the shows, because I just turned it on and it was in Japanese commentary. And I'm like, we're good. But I only watched part of this live anyway. Now, Luke, did you see the crazy entrance of Masked Horse? Because Masked Horse had a whole thing that went before the show. Did you see that?
No.
Okay. So, yeah, when you go back, there's 2 tracks, we call them tracks or something like that. There's number 1, number 2, and each one's usually a match. Well, in this case, on this show, there's 2. The first 2, one is Masked Horse. He appears and he rides out on a horse. All right. And, it's pretty funny. He seems to have a very strong association with Christmas. He's dressed like Santa Claus, but with green. He goes over what appears to be a horse racing chart thing, up on an easel in the ring with Abe, the announcer. But it turns out what it is, he has a bag full of gifts, and it's a drawing for Christmas gifts for the marks. So the crowd gets Christmas gifts and stuff from Masked Horse, and that is the opening thing. And then there's another thing too. Did you see the second thing?
I did, because they were nice enough to start this at the time the show started, and I was just like, thank you, New Japan. I'm not too sure of this man's work, so forgive me, everyone, or the pronunciation of his name. So double apologies. But a wrestler named Osamu Kido, he passed away, and there's a big memorial for him at the start of this first Road to Wrestle Kingdom thing. I think Tanahashi's there and everybody else, except for the heels. Like, Evil's not there and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's funny too, because the heel wrestlers, right? You know they'd be feeling it just as much as the face
Sure,
ones, but
sure.
because they're heels, they have to stay at the fucking back.
Kayfabe, man. I
Man, it's
remember
wrestling's weird.
when Inoki died, they had the
Heels
big
don't mourn
thing.
the dead.
No, that when Inoki died, they had some of the heels just kind of like looking from behind the curtain a little bit, and you could kind of see him back there. You know, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But these tributes, you know, this character, I think it's Kaido, I think it is, but he passed away just a couple days ago, and he was a New Japan original. He was on the first New Japan show. You know, I have to say, like, if I ever, when I pass away, man, if somehow I could get Tanahashi to hold a picture of me looking solemn in the middle of the ring, you know, my spirit will, you know, go to heaven. I'm assuming just because of that, because man, Tanahashi looking sad in the middle of the ring with that picture with all the baby faces around him, man, and the 10 bell salute, that shit is powerful.
Yeah, it is. So, I don't know. I want that too now.
Yeah.
But I also want House of Torture there. So, what do you do?
So what heel would you have hold your picture in the middle of the ring?
I mean, come on. It's
Evil.
even.
He smashed it. That would be great.
As the 10 bell salute's going on, he's smashed it and then he's holding the picture up. And as the bells keep going really slowly, he's like slowly tearing the photo in half.
The 10 bell salute stops and we look over and Dick Togo's stolen the ring bell and he's like, what? Ring bell hammer. He's like, what?
Maybe he just grabs a ring hammer and just gets the 10 bells out of the way really quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Well, I gotta say that tribute was solemn, and that was followed up by one of the coolest things on these shows that isn't just a wrestling match. Did you see the awesome New Japan 2023 highlight video package?
I sure did, but tell us all about it, Mr. Guy. It is like 2023 in a nutshell. It's great.
That's it. It's just
All
fucking
right.
awesome. It just shows every big moment from 2023, like in a little 5-minute package. And I highly recommend you go watch that. I'm assuming that is going to be on Wrestle Kingdom too, because man, that video was tremendous.
That's right. And well, since you're on a roll, take us through it, man. The first match of the show.
Speaking of Masked Horse, he's out with his partner, Masked Bolton, who looks suspiciously like someone we know, versus Tiger Mask and Toru Yano. And Chumpy Jr. is reffing this match from New Japan Strong, and we're like, what the fuck? And man, I'm keeping my eye on him because and guess who else is? Chumpy C.
Yeah, Chumpy. Because
sure.
guess what Chumpy caught him do the other day? He's like, is that motherfucker taking bus lessons? Oh, no, I can't have that.
He saw him doing driving tests out in the parking lot, and Chumpy slashed the tires. So that's great. So Bolton's wearing a singlet, and he hits Masked Horse with a switch for their pose at the beginning. Masked Horse has similar moves to Taguchi, I must say, but it's more like horse-like. He gets the win, but then he acts like he lost, and of course he pins Tiger Mask. But it's a weird match. I don't have much to say about it. It's fun, but I don't understand why Masked Horse acted like he lost. He acted like it was the end of the world, and he won the match. I don't want a match. That's weird.
I'm watching this match thinking, like, is Masked Bolton gonna get pinned? Nah, Tiger Mask is here. Never mind. Mm-hmm. Though I do like. It's amazing to see Masked Bolton do the gut wrench thing that. The other Bolton does. I wonder if they're brothers or something.
Could be.
Anyway, next we have Oscar Loeb and Yuta Nakashima. I love them. Versus Kosei Fujita and Zack Sabre Jr. I like this match too. It's a little uncomfortable though seeing Zack Sabre Jr. just fuck with Yuta Nakashima's arm, and if they're in the ring together, Zack Sabre Jr. is just gonna fucking wail on his arm. I just imagine one day, like in a couple of years' time. He's had his arm tortured so badly. Actually, he'll be on excursion by then. It doesn't matter. But he's had his arm tortured so badly that Zack Sabre Jr. is just like, oh, shit, I ripped it off. Oh, well. And just clubs him with it.
He's like, I got another one.
I got fucking 3 hands, dickhead. Oh, by the way, hey, Zack Sabre Jr., I'm an Australian, and I'm pretty sure I can talk English gooder than
What?
some.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you shut up. You've heard me talk too long for that joke to fucking work. So get
That's
out of here.
why I know sell your jokes sometimes. It's because I just don't understand you. Sorry.
That's right. No
Oi.
hablo Australian.
Oh, yeah.
Did I do that right?
Teton wouldn't like that joke, and
No.
neither would Masked Horse. I'm assuming he's Mexican
Oh,
as well.
don't tell me I fucking besmirched Masked Horse. Oh, man.
Well, he's in a mask. I mean, Mask Bolton is probably from Mexico too, so you better watch it. You know.
All right. Well, this is a fun match, and it further cements my enjoyment of Oscar and Yuto tagging together. But Zack Sabre Jr. taps out Oscar, while Fujita has Yuto all tied up, of course.
I thought that match was a blast, and it was fun because Nakashima started fucking with Zack Sabre Jr. like you said, and he paid for it, man. Because as soon as Zack got it, it was like, oh, I got your arm within my arm's length. He grabbed it, and started fucking it up. He knows what's up, And after the match, TMDK have not had their hands raised, but they go over and they sit on the apron as they tend to do, right? And Chumpy Jr. fucking walks right in between them, and we get this amazing camera shot of him raising their hands, and I'm like, oh my God! Chumpy Sr. is fucking pissed. I guarantee it. Man, he is coming for his spot, and I don't like it.
Yeah, me neither.
That was something. So next, Luke, the return of two of your favorite wrestlers. It is Catch 2 and with Newman, of course, and they are wrestling Dan Baloney, Clark Connors, and Gato, the War Dogs, and Bloody Hands.
Did you say Dan Baloney or Dan Blow Me?
No, Baloney's funnier, right? Yeah,
Baloney's
funny, but like Dan Baloney is so silly. It's you got to go with Baloney, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, so this is a weird thing that happens between these two because these guys already have singles matches booked for the next night. What we get is something different, and I'm not really sure why, but we'll talk about it. So Bullet Club, they come out, they bring out a casket to the ring with them, and like Dan Maloney grabs the mic and he's like, "Oi!" And he's talks shit, and United Empire attack him, right? So during this match, we have Yo on commentary, and he looks absolutely ridiculous as usual. So there's insane slap off between Newman and Dan Maloney. It gets scary. It gets scary levels of violence. Now, these two guys are both from Rev Pro, so they probably wrestled a lot, and it's like they know how hard they can hit each other, and it's great. Because when those two in particular are wrestling each other, it's like, we're going to go a little harder than we would versus other people because we know each other so well. It's awesome. I really miss Gato. His constant cursing is a boon to us all. So I was excited for that. He walks up to Newman, like they're beating the fuck out of Newman, right? Getting all the heat on Newman. And Newman raises his middle finger like, I'm still standing, take her, like that moment, right? And fucking Gato grabs his finger and does the the finger break, and it sounds tremendous. It was like, wow, it sounded just like his finger broke. I was like, I didn't know Gato could do that. That was really cool.
He is a man of many talents.
I mean, clearly, so and losing is one of them, but we'll get to
that. He can blacksmith. Did you know that?
Oh yeah. Do you think he cleans the blood off his hands before he blacksmiths, or is that why his hands are bloody? Because he misses the anvil all the time.
Oh, I was hoping to have some of Gato's enemies' blood just kind of melted into the sheath of the sword or something.
That's pretty cool.
Unless he's blacksmith and horseshoes or some shit. I don't know.
There's always some sword in your fantasy novel. There's one of these famous fantasy novel that the sword drinks blood. Right? That's I've seen that a few times in fantasy books, but there's one in particular. It's like the thing drinks blood, and so it's badass, but because it drinks blood, it's kind of evil a little bit, kind of like the Ring, in Fellowship of the Ring. Only that thing's really evil. But anyway, so wrestling. So I miss Gato, like I said, he breaks his finger, and then there's a big hot tag to Akira. I fucking miss that guy. So did this Kurgan Hall crowd. They were bonkers all night, both nights, just losing their mind. I mean, Masked Horse shows up on a horse. They're like, ah! You know what I mean? Fucking Gato breaks dude's fingers. They lose their mind. They're losing their mind, at Akira as well, because he's running wild, right? And then it's just getting good, it seems, right? And Gato's pinned by TJP. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that's a preview match. It's fine. But after the match, Bullet Club beat the shit out of everyone, of course, and they pose with the casket. So they're getting ready to leave. And it's like, oh, man, well, Catch 22 needs to do a promo, right? So we should definitely have Akira do the promo, right? Because he's like,
yes, do it.
Face. Let's get him. Oh, no. TJP grabs the mic, and it's not good. It gets the point across, but it's real bad. He's like, we are the ones who will win the matches at the Wrestle Kingdom.
We're the good guys.
We are.
You are getting put in coffin.
Yeah.
We will win and triumph because we're Catch 22. I'm just like, where are you reading this from? Like,
that's what it sounds like.
Is this your improv skills? I love his in-ring. I love it. But
well, traditionally, this match would be called a casket match. I don't know why it's a coffin match, but fine.
I think I think maybe because WWE might have trademarked
casket match. I can't imagine they have that trademarked.
I don't know.
I don't know. By the way, I love what was the one casket match? Undertaker versus the sumo guy. It's fucking awesome. Anyway.
Yokozuna?
Yeah, that's a great.
By the way, all right, Andy. So Catch 22 and Bullet Club War Juniors. All right, they have a title match at Wrestle Kingdom, correct?
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorting this out of my brain because my brain hurts. All right, and the stipulations for that match at Wrestle Kingdom are 1 fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Normal rules. Yep. All right, cool. And New Japan has never had a coffin match before, also. So I am just like, okay, why don't you do that at the Wrestle Kingdoms? That'd be a cool, novelty. Why don't you do it there? Instead of some fucking rando end of the year show that only idiots like us are watching because we're doing this. Like, what are you... I mean, I like the match, don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, isn't this like an end of a feud thing? Not like the thing you do, hey, we're on the road to this place. Yeah, let's have a hardcore match.
Let's bust out the steel cage,
Yeah.
But Luke, these shows, I don't know if both of them were, but I know the second one, I believe, or maybe it was this one. They were free on New Japan World. So that might be why they wanted to do that. But it doesn't make sense to have the exact match, meaning members-wise, right before Wrestle Kingdom. So what ends up happening here is that TJP's like, we will fight you tomorrow, and we are booking the coffin match, you see. And that's what he says, right?
The titles to be online.
So anyway, the next night they're going to have a team coffin match, which has another. We'll talk about it. Something else pops out in the middle of that match. That's another gimmick. That's like, okay, what? But I'm not mad. These guys are wrestling. But it's great. Of any of these matchups we're previewing, it's the one that doesn't need a gimmick. So just my opinion.
Like I don't know about you, but I'm already invested, sold on this War Dogs Catch 22 feud. So I didn't really need this. I was actually like, all right, we're gonna talk about it on the second night. I like that match, by the way. There's some gnarly shit in it. But a part of me was really looking forward to those two singles matches.
Yeah, me too. Because you knew it was going to be the thing where it bled into the other one. And that's always fun. I get it. They want to do something different. I'm not mad about it at all. It's just a weird thing to shove in here all of a sudden. And it's not like so here's a way to book that would make a little more sense, right? Instead of TJP booking the match, how about War Dogs win this match and by shenanigans or whatever, TJP and his team wins, but after the match, but they win by some kind of like cheap roll up. And after the match, the War Dogs are like, hey, how about, when our leader came in, he said we want to bring titles or bodies, but we want to bring both.
Bang!
So boom, we got the caskets. Now you got the connection. We're missing that part. Maybe that was said in backstage comments that we missed or something. It could be, you know.
Dude, as soon as you said, like, oh my God, he's leading up to titles bodies. I'm like,
They already have the titles, so now they're bringing the bodies too. You know, it's like, okay, you know, I get it. But,
yeah, no, that's pretty, yeah. Oh, well.
By the way, did you see Dan Maloney's pictures as far as the bodybuilding? Jesus fucking Christ. The guy needs to drink some water. His veins, like the blood in his body's trying to escape his body to seek moisture. Drink some water, man. Damn.
I'm going to shock the world here by letting you all know that I don't look up all of these. It's not as if it was like, you know what? I've seen a couple of these. Let's see if the whole roster has these. So I'm sorry, everyone. I'll let you all down that I don't know what all of these guys look like practically naked. But I've seen El Desperado's butt.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's butt. Why? I mean, I know why, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, okay. I'm not mad. What am I complaining about? Anyway.
Yeah, man. Like, there's a lot of fans out there that are just, like, having their dreams come true right now. And then,
I mean, butts are great. You know? What am I bitching about?
I like wrestlers' butts and I cannot lie. And next we have Master Wato, Tomoaki Honma. Hey, look, it's Honma. And Shota Umino versus Sho, Ren Narita, and oh, look, it's Shota with the Santa hat. But don't worry, he's a real badass.
He looks so sad, though. He gets in the ring, and they have a shot of him just, like, with the Santa hat on because he's mad because he has to face his guy that turned on him. But it's so funny looking.
Like, if you were to tell me, like, I don't know, even before World Tag League, hey, Ren's going to betray Shota, I would have been like, well, yeah, because the story's been they hate each other. Of course they are.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he hadn't have left joined House of Torture, I still would have believed that would happen. I'm like, oh well, it's fine. Like, it's funny how, like, that's the big story, even though, like, it was done better twice before with different. I've mentioned it before. It doesn't matter. Wato Despi for life. Anyway, Shota destroys Ren as soon as he gets the chance, of course. And I really like the Ren Shota stuff, but we all know Honma's in this match, and I'm like, oh man, you couldn't put Dick Togo in this match? Come on. There's an everything, because, I've got a soft spot for Honma, but everything is evil, and Shota, he starts getting stomped on. Where's Wato and Honma? I think they've either left or they're laying out on the outside or something like that. So Shota's by himself, just getting stomped like no one's coming for the save, and oh shit. And actually, I'm going to say this is pretty cool because I did not expect this at all, but Kato Kiyomiya and Ryohei Ilo run out for the save, and Shota shakes Kato's hand after like a million years of, should I do this? I'm like, he's just saved you from the torture dudes. Like, yeah, shake his fucking hand. But I really didn't expect that moment to happen. Like, all right, cool. Hey, while you're on a signing spree, Mr. New Japan, hey, President New Japan, bring Kiyomiya in. At least I feel like New Japan could book him half decent, maybe.
I don't know.
When he hits 35. He's
been there a lot over the past year. and nobody likes his bookings. So a couple things with this match. One is that Ren Narita debuted new gear and new music, and he looked like the fucking Emperor, from Star Wars. That's what he looks like. And so
like the Kermit the Frog version.
Yes, somebody tweeted that. I couldn't.
Oh, really?
Remember. Yeah, somebody tweeted that, but that was pretty good. It was a wrestler that tweeted that too. I can't remember who. So, but anyway, so he debuted new music, and then something else that was pretty cool is that this whole thing, like a lot of the people that are in that crowd at Kurgan Hall come to Noah shows too. So when Kato Kiyomiya shows up, they're like, "Holy fuck!" They lose their shit. and they also know that this is to pimp a match that's going to be on the big New Year's show for
Day.
Noah, where it's like House of Torture versus a bunch of Noah guys, and Kato Kiyomiya and Shota Umino is going to be on that show too, which we will be covering that show. So that's pretty exciting. I thought this was a perfect preview for that show too. I like that. So
yeah.
Anyway, well, next, Luke, yes.
I was just gonna say, speaking of wrestlers posting shit, Alex Cup, the android, fuck, I'll get that name sometime, one day. The android tweeted out, I beat the president at G1. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, Gabe Kidd tweeted some funny shit out. A lot of people, have been tweeting some funny stuff out. But
follow the War Dogs on the Tweety. They're fucking hilarious because they're in character the whole time.
So that's true. That's the best thing. Anyway, next match is Kojima and Desperado. Why isn't Wado in this match? But we'll get him next time. So versus Hiromu and Shingo. So the juniors start, obviously they're the previews, so we're going to see them start. It's pretty good. Shingo double teams and gets heat on Desperado, who's wearing big match boots, like brand new big match boots, by the way. So Shingo does a good job in these matches, like on both these nights, just being a complete asshole and still getting cheered, but like in that way that it's like, okay, because you're Naito's friend, but fuck you, dude. It's pretty cool. So Mr. Bread tags in, and Hiromu spoils the elbow, and they boo the shit out of him. He's like, I'm coming for you, bastard. He turns around, Hiromu knocks him off, and the whole crowd's like, boo!
That's amazing too, because like I know LIJ are supposed to be rudos, but they get cheered out the ass by everybody. Yeah. And it's very rare that some of their heel tactics actually gets like mega heat. And apparently one of the things that gets LIJ mega heat is not letting Kojima do his elbow.
Yeah,
it's probably because they all fear a nut shot now after the punch.
Well, so does Hiromu. That's why he, made him stop. Right. He was like, oh, no, I don't think so. I got a match in a few days. So anyway, Shingo gets in a never fight with Mr. Bread. It's awesome. Pumping Bomber, and he gets pinned by Shingo, and there's a standoff between the juniors. And later on, Mr. Bread tweeted about this. He was very sad. He said something along the lines of, it's been a long time since I've lost to one lariat. Maybe it's time to go back to the drawing board. I'll do my best. Something like that. So.
Yeah, I thought that. I'm like, you got pinned by the Never Champ, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm all right with it.
Yeah, it's just, I'm thinking to myself, though, if I'm Kojima.
Mind you, if that Never Champ was Tamatonga, I would have been like, fucking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'd rather take the lariat than the Last of the Dragon or Made in Japan.
Yeah. So. I can imagine Kojima at the back going, look, Shingo, I'm fucking 56, man. Let's just like, can you just pumping bomber me like once or twice and we're good?
He was probably like, well, let's do 3. And Shingo was like, how about 2? And then he just did 1 to be a dick. So.
It's definitely an LIJ thing to do, isn't it? Fucking hell, that's funny. All right, so next we have Doki, Yuya Uemura, and Sanada versus Ibushi, Yodatsuji, and Tetsuya Naito. I like seeing Yuya Uemura just blanks Naito. He's like, yeah, I want Yodatsuji. So, by the way, I don't know. I'm not sure about the story they're trying to paint here because, like, the English commentators here, because they're trying to paint, like, I don't know. Are they trying to paint Sanada as being this unemotional, boring dude? Because I'm just like, they've had the title on him for most of the year. I don't think you want to kind of sell him like that. He's just got a different way of expressing himself or something. But, and especially when Sanada does something like I've wanted to see for ages, and he doesn't do that often. When he puts someone in a paradise lock and they stay in it for fucking ages.
Yeah.
So everyone's saying like all this shit about Sanada. Well, oh, you came to see Naito wrestle, did you? Paradise lock, and he's in that lock till the finish of the match too. So
that's great.
Fuck you. So I really like that. That's like I feel like Sonata's not the type of dude to say, "I love you, man," or "I'm sorry," but he is the type of guy to get you a box of chocolates or something cool, that kind of thing. He's more actions than words.
Yeah.
Now that's really
I
cool.
don't like. I feel like that. I didn't really listen to English commentary very closely, but I think I listened to it for this match and maybe a few others, and I didn't really like how they were talking about Sonata at all because they made it seem like,
Yeah.
oh, like he's the underdog, and I guess he is going into it, but he's also like defended the title against a bunch of awesome wrestlers, including most of Lij. So they didn't bring any of that up, you know what I mean? So, but this match is kind of telling a story a little bit too about maybe, Yuya Uemura, he really wants to have a singles match
Oh,
with
yes.
Tsuji, right? So, that's kind of, there's a lot of teasing there going on where they're going to wrestle, but no Lij fuck it up and all that stuff. And man, the Kurgan Hall crowd wants that match more than they want anything else, I think. More than anything else, they want that match because they go nuts anytime those two touch, and that was a lot of fun.
Yuya Uemura is crying for that match, and I just want to say Yuya pins Bushi, by the way, so yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and Naito is still in the Paradise Lock, and fucking Sonata puts his foot on him and holds the title up and celebrates while he's in the Paradise Lock. And I mean, is an underdog do shit like that? I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like his run's been pretty successful. If it wasn't, I don't think they would have let him have the title for this long, right? They would have been like, "Oh, it's not working. Let's get." But we see with our Western eyes and being like, "Really, Sonata?" Then over time, I don't know. I feel like he works more in Japan than I do than maybe say internationally.
Yeah.
But when he works in Japan, he really, really.
Yeah.
Works.
Who cares about internationally? Right now, this Wrestle Kingdom's a show for
That's
Japan.
right.
You got Daniel Bryan Danielson, whatever. I mean, what else you want? So, well, next, Luke, we have the match that I got up to watch live. This is going to be long, so strap in. It is, whiskey on a pole ladder match, pretty much, for the Kapow Provisional Championship. It's Taichi versus Kanemaru. Now, before the match, we get some hip-hop music that plays, and Chumpy comes out and oversees setting up for the match. And it's so funny, dude. I mean, one of the, wrestling cliches is the guy climbs to the top of the ladder and he can't unattach the fucking belt, right? The clip, he can't get it done. Chumpy can't get it clipped to raise it up. They got this pole suspended between two different lines, coming from the ceiling. And in the middle of it,
Chumpy.
in the middle of it is a plastic bag that you can see right through. In that is a bottle of whiskey. He's going to attach that by a climbing clasp, and he just can't fucking do it. Takes a while. So eventually they get it, they raise it up, and it works really well. I mean, when you're looking at it, when they're first setting it up, you're like, I don't know, but it worked perfect. So anyway, so the match starts when the competitors come out, and it's just the two competitors that start the match. There's no sign of any members of Just Five Guys or Hot. So Kanemaru takes Taichi to the outside and goes right for the whiskey. And Chumpy helps steady the ladder while yelling at the combatants for using it. It's really good. He's like, hey, get off of there. But while he's doing that and pointing, he's got his foot on the bottom rung trying to steady it. Oh, man. Ref Chumpy.
He's good.
That was fucking awesome, man. He does that quite a bit in the match, and it's excellent. So, but then the match kind of grinds to a slow pace here at the beginning where Kanemaru just keeps hitting Taichi with the ladder and then trying to get the whiskey. And that goes on for a while. There's a tug of war with the ladder, and that's really cool. And Taichi reverses the pressure, sending Kanemaru into the corner by the ladder. And Taichi gets a new ladder and very kindly attacks Kanemaru with it. So Kanemaru gets back in control by using a ladder on Taichi's kicking leg while he's climbing the second ladder. So Taichi's climbing up the ladder to try to get the whiskey. And by the way, the rule is you can use the whiskey if you're the one that gets it. If you didn't get it, you can't use it. That's the whiskey bomb.
No.
Right. So, and anyway, so Taichi's climbing up the ladder. Kanemaru swings a ladder at him, hits him in the leg. That shit was great. So I really enjoyed that. But Kanemaru gets the whiskey first. Here he is. And he takes two long drags off the bottle. And he missed Taichi as he's trying to climb up the ladder to get him. So Taichi catches Kanemaru hitting a flying nothing off the ladder, though. And Taichi tries to use the whiskey bottle, but that's against the rules. And Chumpy's like, no. And he picks it up and walks over and calmly gives it back to Kanemaru. Now, listen, Chumpy, that's not the rule. The rule isn't he's the only one that can touch it. He's the only one that can use it as a weapon. So you should have taken it from Taichi and then been like, hey, let me walk over here calmly and hand it to the heel. So.
Maybe he's really illustrating the point. You can't use this. Let me show you how this works. He uses this, Taichi. No, no, no.
Oh, man. Well, that was really funny. So that happens, and so he has to get the whiskey back to Kanemaru. And whiskey, Kanemaru, of course, has the age-old, thing that he uses, which he's already begun, which is a little bit of fuck your leg, his favorite tactic. So he goes with that. Taichi's kicky guy, so it makes a lot of sense. Taichi gets real mad, though, after some shitty kicks from Kanemaru. Figure 4. And that leads to a big double down, or after a big double down for a rope break. Whiskey gets poured into Taichi's face, so he spits it back at Kanemaru, and that's legal, I guess. That's okay. So, basically he poured it in his face, but he captured some in his mouth, used that as mist. That's allowed. He can't use the whiskey bottle. So Taichi's
going to allow this.
Yeah, Taichi's on top after he gets the whiskey bottle, and Chumpy tries to stop him, but just walks around like selling and yelling, like so he like grabs the bottle and just starts walking around with it, going ah like that. It's weird, but anyway, Taichi drops the bottle and hits the biggest dangerous suplex of all time. It was insane. He goes for Black Mephisto, but the lights go out. Little problem here. Somebody fuck this up because the lights go out and they're still in the I'm going to pick you up for Black Mephisto position. Well, Chumpy is going to do some stuff while the lights are out, and House of Torture obviously going to do some stuff, and some asshole at ringside has their phone light out or something because you can see what's going on, and that's not usually the case. So that was disappointing. They fucked up the lights out thing, but is what it
Hope
is.
that fan got ejected. They turned
Yeah,
into a
so
load-bearing skeleton or something.
So House Torture take out Chumpy. They attack, and Dick Togo he gets the ladder in the ring. They hold Taichi upside down, and he climbs one rung and looks at the crowd. Climbs another rung, looks at the crowd. I was like, boo, no. Giant karate chop off the fucking ladder. It's really funny. So, and then Yujiro and Ren run out, and they have 2 handles of whiskey. Now, Luke, in Australia, is that okay, so we have a 5th of whiskey, which is the average bottle of whiskey. That's the bottle of whiskey that Kanemaru normally has. The bigger one we call a handle. What do you call that?
A liter.
A liter. There you go. Yeah, we call it a handle for some reason. But anyway, so they bring out 2 fucking liters. So they got these giant bottles of whiskey, right? Oh man, this shit is ridiculous. So they fill a bucket up with whiskey, right? And they try to drown Taichi in the bucket. They're basically waterboarding him.
This is fucking amazing.
So, just 5
I wanted
guys.
my nutshot match, but I'm happy with this at big time.
Just 5 guys run in for the save. Triple planches on all the House of Torture guys on all the different sides of the ring. And then a nasty-looking axe bomber from Taichi. Then another one. Bridging dangerous suplex for 2. The crowd, they chant Taichi's name as Kanemaru slips some, it says real attempts. I don't know what that means. But anyway, those. Low blow while Marty is distracted and a brain buster for 2 from Kanemaru. Kanemaru lays Taichi on the ladder and hits a fucking very safe but awesome looking moonsault right onto him on the ladder. Great. He busts the ladder up, climbs the ladder for what must be a huge flying nothing. And here it is. Huge flying nothing. And so Taichi bumps doing the patented Sonata accidental low blow. So what happens is that Kanemaru goes for the big flying nothing off the ladder, and Taichi just falls on his back like Sonata used to do. So he used to do that to Taichi when they were
yeah, that's right.
and stuff. So anyway, he does that to Kanemaru. Dick Togo distracts Marty with the bucket. And this spot gets botched timing-wise because Taichi, he kicks the bucket, sending whiskey everywhere, right? But it takes way too much time, and everybody's just standing there for a minute. Super kick, Black Mephisto. Taichi wins. Yay. Timing on the finish is real bad, but I don't care. Taichi wins. He is the 2023 provisional King of Pro Wrestling champion.
No.
And he gets a fucking trophy.
It's not provisional anymore. He is the King of Pro Wrestling. A title that he deserves. He's the Holy Emperor and the King of Pro Wrestling 2023. I can imagine you, even though you knew like Taichi was winning, you just marking the fuck out that your boy is the King of Pro Wrestling.
I didn't know he was gonna win. You know, I mean, I didn't necessarily know.
Yeah, yes, but they don't do juniors beating heavies that often. That's the only thing.
But yeah, is a son of a bitch, and he's got a lot of help.
Oh, motherfucker!
And Show beat him, and so I'm just saying. I wonder if Taichi's just going to keep feuding with House of Torture guys. Just who's next? Which guy's next? For Taichi. But what did you think of like that match in general, and also what did you think of the cleanup job afterwards? That was fascinating to watch.
Have to get the fucking mops and shit out to get the thing clean and everything. Didn't take too long. It was nice and breezy. Like I remember those for years. They just have intermissions during shows and stuff. So it was actually kind of nice to have a little break. I didn't even see all of the cleaning. I'm like, what are they doing? Oh, they're cleaning all the alcohol.
They switched the canvas.
I'm gonna go get alcohol.
Yeah,
they did. They peeled it off and switched it. And now
at WWE and AEW shows, the way they do it, they just have like 5 canvases they put on at the beginning, and then they just pull one off, and you got a new canvas. But New Japan pulled off the old one, put on the new one, and they had to dry all the padding underneath, and it was just fun to watch. I like that.
It's do you reckon the mats are absorbent enough so if Moxley bleeds, it doesn't bleed through to all 5 mats? All right,
vapor barrier, blood barrier, So,
all right, so. You took wonderful long notes for that match, and I'm here to inform you that I have some pretty gnarly notes for this main event as well.
This match was really good, right? I mean, people are freaking out about it. I don't know if it was as amazing as everybody says it was, but it was very good, I
mean, like, it's not going to end up on my 2023 top 10 list, best of years, end of year spectacular, because, I've already done that.
We already did that,
Yeah, so... might be it's sort of, I liked it. Like I'm not going to go gaga over it, but I did love certain portions. Anyway, it is Great Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Great
on the Cobb
on the con.
There you go, with Hanare versus the dream team of Okada, Tanahashi, and Ishii. I like this part. Cobb tries to get into Okada's head a bit at the start of the match, and it works. He catches a drop kick, does a stalling suplex, puts him in a stalling suplex position, and then just chucks him. Like, god damn. So, someone doesn't care that Okada's a top guy. Wow, just fucking, I'm just going to chuck this guy. Cobb then gets Okada draped over his knee or something and just plays fucking guitar just to taunt Tanahashi. That's pretty fucking funny. Then Chaos triple team Jeff Cobb like heels. So, all right, they're going there. Tana gets his revenge and guitars at Cobb to booze. Wow. President Tanahashi's got heat with Korakuen for daring to play guitar on Jeff Cobb. We get Cobb beating the shit out of Ishii, and then the Empire take over. They wail and they wail until Cobb's back, and then they wail on Ishii, or Great Khan does, Hanare does, then Cobb comes back in, and Ishii's like, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm going to lean into the strikes. And then he just fucking crumples like a pan, like Ric Flair would, just like a heavier sack of shit than Ric Flair would. It's amazing. I really like, I really like that. Ishii finally hits Cobb with. By the way, on the Dream Team side, they're all good, but there's one MVP. Yeah, and dare I say it, there is for the Empire boys too, and we'll get to those two gentlemen in a minute. But Ishii hits Cobb with a suplex. Tanner dragon screws Cobb in the corner. And then he does a Canadian version on Hanare.
Son of a bitch.
I love seeing Cobb turning a sling blade into a spin cycle.
That was cool.
And then we got a whole portion here where Great Khan and Kazuchika Okada proceed to tear it up.
Yeah.
And we say this every now and again, like it's a big match. So like a big match, Great Khan, he might pull a move out we haven't seen for a while or never seen before. He's pulling out all these fucking torture rack submission slams on Kazuchika Okada, and they look awesome. Oh, the first one's more like a torture racky kind of thing, but yeah, that's awesome. Ishii breaks up a bridging suplex and gets triple kicked in the face for his troubles. Great Khan, Great Khan and Hanare. Then, oh my god, like I'm sure Tanahashi's fine and they took care of him, but just the visual of this, I'm just like, oh fuck, he can't protect himself. Hanare and Great Khan, they grab Tanahashi's ankles and wrists and hold him down, and then Jeff Cobb does a standing moonsault on him, and I'm just like, okay, fucking ouch. Say there's only one awkward part of this match, and it might be after a torture act stretch by Great Khan on Okada. There's like Great Khan's in the ring and he's surrounded by the Chaos dudes, or I know Tannis Huntai, but it doesn't matter, same thing. So that's a little awkward, but they try to figure out like, wait, what's our fucking triple thing again? Who cares? It doesn't last too long. Yeah, and there's a high elbow on Great Khan by Okada, which looked fucking awesome as well. He came out hot. He came high. That was awesome. He calls for rain. The freaking crowd goes wild. Here we go. We got the other torture racky kind of move. The sidewinder, I think Mr. Ranger called it. Ishii and Great Khan. Yeah. Here's a really cool gut wrench on Ishii. And then we get probably the time of the match I've been waiting for the most, because I'm a never dude. I like seeing never dudes do never shit. And I get it. It's Hanare Ishii time. And pretty much when these two gentlemen tag in, there's no more tags. And this is a New Japan staple, and I don't mind it, because look, you look at the Dream Team. Who's the most pinnable? Yeah, it's Ishii. Though Tanahashi can be pretty pinnable sometimes, but it is Ishii. Well, on the Empire side, you probably could have chosen Great Khan or Hanare. No offense, gentlemen. I love you both. But I guess they went the Hanare route and this route. So here you've got two guys, you know Okada's probably not getting pinned. Tanahashi, Cobb probably not. So this ups the stakes. It's why Yoshihashi ends a lot of his tag matches, because he's stank butter and he's probably going to lose. Right? Oh my god, there's a thunder bomb on Ishii straight away. Back suplex by Ishii. Pandemonium hits. Like, everyone just does their shit. There's a huge double down as everyone takes each other out. And then Ishii, dragon suplex on Hanare. There's some stiff strikes, and then a gnarly powerbomb on Hanare as well, which looked fucking ouch. Great Khan and Cobb help Hanare powerbomb Ishii for 2. Okada breaks it up. Tanahashi. Oh, and I thought this would figure more into the finish more, but I feel like they're playing maybe a little bit of the long game for this Ishii Tana feud.
Yeah.
I was starting to feel like, is this just fantasy dream book shit? Are they actually going to do something about this?
One day. But
and then
it might be a year from now,
That's right. Then Tanahashi accidentally swats Ishii because Hanare ducks. And I'm like, all right, I don't need to see the whole feud play out right now. But all right, hopefully you're laying some groundwork there. I'm like, all right, Rampage for 2. I start getting really excited. There's headbutts by Ishii, which ends when Hanare just knees him right in the fucking face. Streets of Rage, no. These two guys just pretty much beat the ever-loving shit out of each other. Like, some of them, Like I know they're probably fine, but some of these bumps, some of these headbutts and shit, and I'm just like, are you okay? You okay, boys? No, they keep getting up. By the way, that second rampage tackle that Hanare puts on,
Yeah, dude.
fucking huge. Oh my god. And I'm marking out because I'm like, oh my god, put some gold on this man, please. Please. Like the Dream Team don't need those belts. And
I mean,
I know it's only the same belts, but we live in a world where Yoshihashi's a 3-time tournament winner and a multi-time champion in 2 different divisions, the stank belts and the tag team. But yeah, even still, I have not seen gold on Hanare, and I'm just like, come on, man.
yeah.
And I want to see him do stuff with Great Khan as well. So I'm getting pretty excited, and I'm getting pumped up because they're making me believe that Hanare is actually going to beat the shit out of Ishii and get the win. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it to happen. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Brainbuster. And I love Ishii, by the way. Brainbuster. Boo. It's like, fuck you, man. But not only that, like these two men didn't just do lots of stiff strikes and stuff. I'm pretty sure between them both, they did all of the different types of suplexes, almost all of them. And I loved every second of that. So, yeah. Hanare, what a performance. He's put him in the Never division, please. He's amazing in it.
I mean, you know, he kind of is. I mean, he always shines when he's facing those kinds of guys and has since he's been in New Japan. That was when we were like, okay, do this. You know, we used to be like, why? We don't really get this guy. And then he'd have a match like with Ishii or, you know, someone like that. And we'd be like, hey, this is what this guy needs to be doing. So we got a big dose of that here. And it was awesome. I thought one of the spots that was really cool is that Hanare goes up in the corner for the high knee, and Ishii grabs his knee and turns it into the folding power bomb. And like, you know, it's like peanut butter and jelly, man. You know, that it's like so awesome. So there were so many good things from this, and it was nice to see, you know, Tanahashi and Okada going full out for the most part. You know, I thought Okada was really bumping around in this match early and stuff. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. You know, Stank Belt Championship staying on the Dream Team. You know, they're rubbing their dream, you know, roses on the Stank Belts to try to make them smell good.
Okada's leaving and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, well, they wouldn't keep the Stank Belts on him if he's leaving.
I know, right?
I know, dude. I'm gonna write that down. That's important. Clickety clack. So I
have to believe I know Okada will do the right thing if he leaves. Unlike you, machine gun fuckface. I'm still mad at him.
Christ. Okay.
I'm still mad. Don't fuck with my Never belt. God damn it.
Yeah. That was the end of the first Road to Tokyo Dome show. And we got another one that was at Kurgan Hall as well. Same crew. We even got, you know, Ref Chumpy Jr. in the house again. And we also have masked horse shenanigans to start the show again, where he comes out on a horse and does all the gift shenanigans. You know, I mean, I'm not saying you got to go back and watch that, but it was kind of fun. You know, we got the big video again, you know, best of 2023. I enjoyed watching that. And would you like to take the first match, or would you like me to talk about Makabe?
Look, dude, it won't matter because both the first 2 matches pissed me off with their finishes. So let me just start with, yeah, I'd rather talk about Yo, to be honest.
All right, so the first match was Makabe and Young Lion versus Kojima and Young Lion. So Walker Texas Stewart says the Young Lions are guaranteed to get a win in this match. No, but okay. Kojima spams the pin on these are the 2 new Young Lions. I don't really know their names that well. So one of the Young Lions gets the pin spammed on him by Kojima. It's pretty funny. And because we have Chumpy Jr. reffing this match, he's also trolling the ref. So that's funny. The crowd is on fire for this, though, because they want to see these Young Lions win. Makabe, this is really funny. Him and Brad, they duke it out. Marishima, which is one of the names I got, he wants in, and Kojima foolishly runs them both right into a double clothesline. Like, he tags in the Young Lions like, oh, great, come on in. We're going to double clothesline Makabe. It'll definitely work, you know, and of course it doesn't work. It was pretty funny. You think Makabe sends DMs to Tony Khan all the time about the use of the double clothesline in AEW, but Tony Khan's never read them,
All completely unread.
Yeah,
It's even
I don't think he's ever
so
Makabe
over there.
we got to get Makabe a big win, in the lead up to Wrestle Kingdom, of course, and he brabs out a young lion for the win.
All right. That is the finish. That is exactly as you described. There's a little bit more to it, and that made me laugh. Oh, but by the way, we got Mr. Bread with Katsuya Murashima, and Makabe is with Shoma Kato. I feel like Shoma Kato got ripped off, even though his team won, because I'd much rather team with Mr. fucking Bread, to be honest.
Why? If you're on Makabe's team, you're probably going to win. Well, if you're not, you're taking the pin, though. So
because I'd rather fucking chill with Mr. Bread, even if I'm getting my ass kicked, than hang out with Makabe and feel like a winner. It's like, yep. But the finish here is funny because Makabe is just like, I'm gonna grab this young kid, Murashima, and he is. And Kojima gets in and starts hitting him, going, "Hey, break up the hold, break up the hold." And then Shoma Kato comes in. Kojima easily handles it and throws him out. And then rather than keep punching Makabe to break up the hold, he exits the ring to go beat up Shoma Kato some more. And meanwhile, as he's doing that, Murashima taps out. Yeah, I guess he's just like, hey, you're online. You figure it out. Yeah. I feel like both Makabe and Mr. Bread were having a bit of fun with the young lions in this match too, because they're green as fuck. Not in a bad way. They're just new. So I feel like both men were having a bit of fun with that. All right, so our next match is the Masked Horse and Masked Bolton, Mr. Guy, and they're versing fucking Yo and Toriano. By the way, Masked Bolton is almost unmasked by Toriano, which is not on. Chris is like, hey, he could get disqualified. And it's like, no shit. Yes, he could. Masked Horse, what was he doing? Dude, what was he doing in the corner? What was that?
Well, he was, so we know that Yo has a urine problem. He has to pee all the time. He's incontinent. And so it turns out that Masked Horse knows that as well. We suspect that he learned that from Sho. And, Sho's been running around backstage telling everybody about that. And anyone, but here's the weird thing. You'd think Sho knows about it because of them tagging together, but no, he knows about it because he read the diary. So anyway, Masked Horse has Yo in the corner and he starts pushing on his bladder. It looks like he's grabbing his dick, but really he's pushing on his bladder. So that's what he was doing.
I'm glad you were there to see the distinction. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you for helping me with that. Masked Horse then starts whipping Yano with a crop, which makes me laugh. And then the ref's like, no. So Masked Horse is like, fine, and then stuffs the crop into his tights. Like, okay. Yano makes him run. I'm like, all right, Masked Horse has got a bit of a gallop on him. Yeah, no. Here we go. Thank you.
Gallop thing.
Yeah. Just get the two coconuts together, like
yeah, exactly. So.
Like the Monty Python movie, yeah. Yo crops Masked Bolton's ass quite a lot, but it's right. Masked Bolton gets some revenge by cropping Yo's butt a little bit, and then just going like, "Yeah, that's boring. I'm just going to gut wrench you until you piss yourself."
Oh my god! The bladder pressure from that move. Oh my god, it's genius.
When you ask someone how much you can bench, like they'll give you a weight. And Masked Bolton's just like, I can bench a Honma or insert, I can bench a Kojima because I've seen him do the gut wrench thing on Kojima as well. Holy fuck.
He can bench Yo, and then the follow-up question is, well, is his bladder full or not? And Masked Bolton looks at you and says, what do you think?
Yeah, but look, then the horrible happens, and I'm just like, do you want me to enjoy wrestling, New Japan? Because I just watched Makabe win. Oh, look, yeah, Yo just pins Masked Bolton. Poor Masked Bolton.
Who could possibly care?
Boo. Yeah, I know.
I mean, Who could possibly care? There was something shocking. I don't know if you caught this that Chris said during this match. He said that he has heard a rumor, maybe from show, we don't know, that Mass Bolton was trained by Max the Max, which I found to be shocking. So, but that's what he said.
Does that mean he's been training with real swords?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, we go.
Next, Luke, we have a match that I gotta say, I kind of like the preview match better with this one, but this one was really good. It was Ishii versus Newman, and like, okay, this is a really important match for Newman, all right, because this is his first singles match in New Japan that I'm aware of, and it's the only chance. Like, it's the end of the year. The crowd's like, Newman gonna get his first win. You know what I mean? That's what everybody's thinking, right? So we hear Newman's music for the first time, I think. I think maybe we've heard it before when he one-time pinned a Young Lion or something in a multi-man tag, but I don't know. Probably not. So Ishii dominates Newman and shows that his dominance through the language of Brabs. Which is a painful language. And Ishii kind of works the lower back a little bit. And Newman hits a monster drop kick in the corner that was so awesome. He even gets a lariat on Ishii for 2. Ishii counters speed with power. And Newman really, like, I got to say something about him. So, you know, no one ever talks about this because people don't really like it. But at the same time, it's kind of part of wrestling, is slapping the leg. Right? It's part of wrestling. And, you know, I know it's not something that you want every strike to be that way. But, like, one of the reasons the Young Bucks are great is because they're really good at that. I mean, excellent. They do it in a way where it sounds like the guy's getting hit twice. Like, you kick someone in the jaw, you hear 2 slaps. You hear the slap of the kick and his teeth, like, hitting the top. You know, it's like this crazy sound, right? And Newman is excellent at slapping the leg, man. Excellent. Like, his timing is beautiful, and you don't even see him do it. It's tremendous. So I thought, I just had to point that out because some of his kicks and his strikes look so good because of the good timing with that. So he hits a fucking triangle moonsault to the outside on Ishii.
Yeah.
And Newman fires up, but he runs right into a lariat for 2. Reverse tree of woe that kind of almost gets botched. Like, he kind of like Ishii like launches him out of the ring, but it's supposed to be like
he jumps up a little too high as well.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to jump to the second rope or the top rope, but what ends up happening is he's tree of woe, but on the outside, and so he has to like get help back in from Ishii, so they can keep going, and that was kind of funny. So big slap from Newman, and he hits a huge missile drop kick off the top, and here he goes, he's powering up, but drop kick. Power up Spanish fly for 2. That was awesome. The crowd is just fucking losing their mind because, like I said, they think Newman's going to win. And fuck Ishii. You know what I mean? Like, he's in that asshole tag team with the stank belts, you know? Fuck him. So
he just pissed me off, too, by pinning Hinaro the night before.
Right.
So fuck, yeah, go Newman.
Bridging suplex for 2 from Newman. Os cutter from Newman, and it's a big os cutter, and everybody's freaking out. And he gets that for a very, very, very close near fall. Something we didn't mention before that I just have to throw in here real quick is one of the things that made the Ishii versus Hinari stuff so good in that other match, and that in the Stank Belt Championship match, was because both guys were doing the 2.9999999 kick out. It's so well. That happens a couple times in this match. You know, Ishii's doing it for him, and it's pretty cool. So Newman tries a fucking Phoenix Splash, but it doesn't work. Big strikes back and forth, reversals galore, and near falls for a near fall for Newman. He gets a couple. It's really great here. It's what you want. It's the end of an awesome New Japan match where there's just all these counters and near falls and all kinds of stuff going on. It's so good. Brainbuster. Ishii wins, but huge Newman chant after the match. So, I mean, I don't know. Big coming out party for him. Hopefully he's sticking around. If we're going to see him in singles matches, he's got to be in Best of Super Juniors, right? I mean, if he's a junior, you know, he's got to be in there.
I don't mind where he turns up. If he's going to do matches like this, is it perfect? No, as you said, you know, he nearly gets dumped on his head in a tree of row on the outside. I don't know. It's fine. Like, for his first, like, big singles match in Korakuen Hall, apart from that one moment, yeah, it looks stiff as fuck, but Ishii looked after him, and he showed off some really awesome skills. Like that fucking moonsault was amazing. The Oz cutter was really cool too. Yeah, I really like Callum in this. So more singles matches, please. So, I'm not surprised Ishii won. I always knew he was going to win. Like,
What?
come on.
How did you know? He does have the respected and cherished stank belts. So
Yeah, but I did like that the Korakuen crowd was like, hey, all right, that was really good. So we'll change your name for a little bit. And I was like, yeah.
Korakuen Hall, they love the underdog, especially Doki. So, they just absolutely love the underdog. They want them to win no matter who they are. I'm telling you, that one of the best times ever is that match where it's Captain New Japan versus Okada. And the crowd is like, fuck Okada. Fuck him. We want Captain New Japan to, and it's for the title. So everybody knows Captain New Japan has no chance at all. And they chant his name like their lives depend on it. It's great.
That's right. Yeah, well, so next we have the Young Lion Bros, that is Yuto Nakashima and Oscar Loeb, versus the Fishermen. And the Young Lions, they don't want to wait. They just get up in the Chan's faces and just start whooping ass. What's my favorite thing in this whole match, everyone? Oh, it's not only seeing Yoshihashi get brabbed, it's Yuto Nakashima going like, I'm going to do a fucking Tenzan brab on this motherfucker right here.
He did. That's great.
And I'm just like, you're going to pay for that in a minute. But, man, I love that. Yeah, that was really cool. This is a short match, though. Young Lions, they put on a good showing, but Shoto and Yoshi wins. But, yeah. I was with the Korakuen crowd. I want the Young Lions to win this match. Yay. But they're not going to.
I think this was like a showcase for the Young Lions, though, man.
Yeah.
Fishermen were like, brother, we're going to bump all over for you. Well, that's what Goto said. Yoshihashi said, ah! That's all he can say, But, he was trying to talk to the Young Lions, and Goto stepped in front and said, no, I'll do this. Don't worry. So they're bumping all over the place trying to make these guys look awesome. And obviously, again, there's no way these guys are going to get this win, but the crowd doesn't give a fuck. It's like the same thing, like we were just talking about with Captain New Japan. Crowd's like, fuck you, Fishermen. We want these guys, In fact, crowd's kind of anti-chaos lately. So, and I'm all about it. They like Naito. Everybody else can fuck off except for Young Lions and Naito, So,
and maybe Naito's friends, maybe.
Well, yeah, except Shingo when he fucks around. So, but which he does a lot. It's fun. So this next match, Luke, was fun because we had Bushi and Hiromu, little preview action versus the team of Desperado and Master Wato. I knew you'd be happy. The boys are back together. There's a really cool entrance thing. So Desperado does a thing where he's on hard cam and he does the splits and rolls into the ring, right? They do this cool shot from the roaming cam where he's in the foreground and behind him, Master Wato's doing his, my hand, I am Wato. He's doing that thing and it looks really cool. And those guys look more like a team than they ever have. So there was no bullshit about t-shirts. There was nothing. We're out here to wrestle. We're a tag team now. So I like that. I don't know how long that's going to last, but what do you think of that part of this, Luke?
I really liked it. And Wato's not even pushing the t-shirt thing anymore. He's just like, he tucked it into his thing one time. We're good.
Mm-hmm. That's over, Now
they're a team now. And yes, it's still the dork and the cool one, but it works. I don't know. I love it. I want more.
I enjoy it. Yeah, it's pretty great. So that anyway, so this match, what do we got here? We got the good preview shit from the champ and number one contender, of course, LIJ. They isolate Wato and destroy him. And Bushi hates Wato. So Wato has to bump all over the place in this match, and it's tough, but he does a really good job. So Desperado gets in finally, and he faces off with Hiromu, and they get some great fuck your leg action, including the hanging version of the numero dos, the like Joshi hanging version. That was fantastic. Oh, yeah. So they absolutely kill each other. And then they get tired of killing each other, and they tag in Bushi and Wato, and they wrestle for a bit. It's very good. Those guys have always had good matches. Remember, Bushi versus Wato was the first time that we were like, Master Wato. First time, it was like in Best of Super Juniors. That was the first time we ever like kind of got him as a wrestler. So that was cool. Watto dodges the MX, and we get a bunch of roll up near falls, and then Watto pins Bushi with a jackknife pin where he's like holding both of Bushi's arms at the same time. Fucking A. That was not only was that like a sneaky win, like a smart win, but it was like a strong win too. It was a powerful pin that he did, and he fucking pinned Bushi, and Bushi was so mad. But here's the problem. Chris Charlton acts like Watto's win is meaningless, and he continues to just trash Watto. And it's like, what the fuck? The dude just beat Bushi, and he won Best of Super Juniors, man. Let's not train the new guy to bury Watto, please. But that's what we're doing here. That pissed me the fuck off. I care about Watto, okay?
I know, yeah.
I care about what you say about it. So.
Look, if he's cool enough to team with El Desperado, shut the fuck up. Is he a dork? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, so am I. I do a wrestling podcast, but, Watto's an even bigger dork.
Talk shit about his shenanigans outside the ring. If you want to talk shit about him, talk about how you don't understand about his obsession with the color blue. You don't understand with his obsession with riding a bike. Make fun of that. Don't make fun of anything that he does in the ring. Ah!
Yeah, I feel like the time for the time has passed on the man. Watto's dumb because like did you see that match? Like that was emphatic. Like, that wasn't dumb. I agreed. It's
The match was good though. It's good.
Oh, by the way, it would be remiss if I didn't mention it, even though the match we talked about was like an 8 hour ago. But oh yeah, Ren Narita. Oh look, he's got a new look and new music. Oh
yeah,
wow.
I fucking said
Tamatonga.
Oh jeez, enough.
Cut through to your. All right, I'll stop.
Hey, thank God he's not on the like preview tags.
Yeah.
Because I mean, brother, I like had enough of that. But we'll see what happens. Maybe him and Shingo will have the best match ever, and we will change our minds and we'll love him forever. I don't know.
I hope Shingo wins in 5 minutes. Anyway, next, Shingo will never have a 5-minute match because he's like way too giving.
10 to 12.
That's right. That's right. The wrestler's like, let's have a 30-minute match, Shingo. And Shingo's like, yeah, let's go for 20 minutes. And then he does it in 10.
Let's put 30 minutes in 10 to 12 minutes. That's what he says, because it's always like, man, him versus Cobb, it's fucking 25-minute match in like 14 minutes. So,
I feel like I'm starting to believe that Shingo's not someone you want to haggle with before a match because you want to get more. Suddenly you've gotten less, and he's pinned your ass. So
yeah,
be careful.
like he did with Kojima earlier. Kojima was trying to do lariat Kojima math with him, and it didn't work out in his favor.
You didn't add Kurt Angle to the mix. That's why. That's what you got to do in every wrestling math formula. Add a bit of Kurt Angle to the mix.
He's the X Factor. Yeah,
that's right.
Oh wait, no, that's Ren's finisher. Which, by the way, I did notice that we're about to talk about Catch 22 versus War Dogs. I did notice that Akira's still doing the X Factor. Like, remember, he does like a super X Factor, and he used to straight up do it. He's still fucking doing it. It's like, yo, you dealing with it twice.
That's right. You can't escape the X Factor. So, yes, Mr. Guy is right. It is Catch 22. That is Francesco Akira and TJP versus the War Dogs Junior Division. That is Clark Connors and Driller Baloney. I'm sorry. Like, that's in my head now.
Were you clear on how this match was going to work?
No.
They brought out 2 coffins. They said it's a coffin match, but we don't know if both guys have to. You know what I mean? We were never really told like how that was going to work, right?
Yeah. So, by the way, I love seeing the refs have to carry out the coffin. That makes me laugh. And set it up, and as soon as I saw them putting it on 2 Japanese tables, I'm just like, oh fuck, someone's gonna die for real.
That's funny.
Look, there is. I know this is a free show, so you'll get a couple matches where people go needlessly hard because they're like, hey, it's free, we want eyes on this. Come watch Wrestle Kingdom. I understand that. didn't really expect some really well-timed bonkers shit that I got in this match. Like, you get all sorts of really cool spots. It's bonkers. There's like a really cool double spear spot, and then there's like a really cool spot, a double spear where Clark Connors spears both men. But there's also a really cool spot where TJP and Akira, they're on the corners. They're about to go for fireballs. Both Bullet Club boys duck it, and then they hit stereo spears, things like that. I think like there's a lot of really cool timing in this match. Like, I even get to see one of my favorite backdrop suplexes, and it's TJP. It's the one where someone tries to kick him. He grabs a leg, kind of flows under it, like really smooth as silk, and then just goes bang. He does that all the time, but I need to mention it because I fucking love that move. And that's like the first portion of the match. And I feel like this is a high work rate nuts. Like, oh, holy shit, I'm in for a treat here. And then they both the teams decide, let's ramp it up. I'm like, you sure? It's an end of year show before Christmas. Like, you don't have to, man. Like, it's fine. Nope. Let's bring out the Bullet Club boys, bring out a dog collar, and they collar up, catch 2-2 together. And there's some spots with them both chained up together and all that. But then there's a spot that makes me go, oh, holy fuck. Are you all right, Clark Connors? Because they catch 2-2 go to do the clothesline with the chain thing. And the chain fucking snaps on Clark's neck. I'm like, what the fuck? That looks freaking ouch. TJP is speared into the coffin at one point, by the way. So that is a Canadian spear. And if I see one by Clark Connors. TJP, he almost wins, but he gets shot in the head with the belt, or belt shot to the head. I phrase that weird. Clark Connors not only hangs Akira, but he ties the end of the fucking dog collar thing to the ring post, so he can't get free. The Bullet Club even do a leaning tower as a fuck you on the Catch 2-2 boys. They do it on TJP, then they do like another double team move on him, and they coffin TJP while Akira is tied to the post. Of course, the Bullet Club boys have to win this because they have to get extra heat for Wrestle Kingdom. So, like, I thought this match kind of over-delivered a little bit, and I was just like, it's before Christmas and Wrestle Kingdom, dudes. You want to do this? All right, they're doing it. I'm just going to have a blast, and I did. These four guys have some really good chemistry and all that kind of stuff, and I want to see more. Oh, look, in about just over a week or so, I'm going to see more. You went hot on this?
It's fantastic. The match is awesome.
Thank God.
The booking is like, why? You know, but it's like, okay,
but it's a free show. Get eyes on it. I know.
At the end of the match, commentary points out that TJP is an idiot for requesting this match, and he's right. And they don't even have to say it. Akira was hanged. So if this adds drama to their match, because maybe this is Akira's going to be like, bro, like, that was bad leadership, man. You know what I mean? Like, you put me in a really bad situation. That's the way that ended up. Or is he going to be like, awesome, bro, and this doesn't mean anything? I hope it means something. You know, I hope my kind of like thing, what I'm thinking is that they will have some crazy stipulation match that's like coffin dog collar match or something like that. But I was kind of like, so traditionally in wrestling, the dog collar is a strap match. Basically, it's like you're connected, right? And these are actually leashes with a chain. So each war dog, which I know dog, I mean, that's their shit, right?
Yeah, leashes.
So, but they were actually leashes that they still did all the same chain spots you'd see. They wrapped it in their fist and they clotheslined each other. They did, like, I think at one point, TJP did like a Mamba splash with it, like on his chest or something like that. So it would, hurt them when he hit. There was all kinds of fun stuff, but it was interesting that it wasn't like a traditional dog collar type thing. So maybe that's meaningful. Maybe it isn't. But I just watched this and I thought, man, TJP, you fucked up, dude. Like, that was dumb. And look what happened to Akira. Hopefully that's going to be the story. That seemed to be what, because I think that this has to mean something, or otherwise it's just a throwaway match in the lead up to a big match in Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe we'll get some story stuff in this match we're not expecting. That'd be fun.
Looking forward to it. And speaking of, will people remember this? I do know that Mr. Francesco Akira holds grudges, because I remember him being really pissed off right before he goes to wrestle the Despi Wato match, from Tag League. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, why is he so pissed off? Oh, yeah, because of that Desperado match, which is one of the best matches of the Best of Super Juniors, with Despi just like ripped off both his arms and both his legs and just pretty much clubbed him to death with all of his body parts. Oh, and everyone was just like, Akira, can you stay down, please? He's like, fuck you. No, fucking, yeah. So if you think he's not going to hold a grudge against Clark Connors for hanging him on the corner, oh, mate. This fiery Italian dude's just going to fucking just explode. And
will he have misdirected? Brings a lighter back. But will he have misdirected hostilities? I mean, that's kind of, what we wonder. But next, Luke, we have another tremendous match. This is Tanahashi and Okada versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Fujita. Now, listen, anytime that we get to see Zack Sabre Jr. and Okada wrestle each other, it is like, it's kind of, they're just two guys that go together like peanut butter and jelly, like I said earlier. And so I was so fired up when I saw that these two were going to wrestle, because it's always great. And almost always you'll have the spot where, like, Zack Sabre Jr. has him in some wacky hold. Okada like puts him up on his shoulders to do some move, and then Zack Sabre Jr. is like climbing around on Okada doing holds and shit. So we'll see. See if we get that this time. But
yes. Wasn't Okada going for like his neck breaker kind of spot, and then Zack's kind of turned it around to a reverse kind of triangle choke thing? Yeah. I'm like, what?
It's great. Well, obviously, this Wrestle Kingdom preview match for the TV title, and it's Zack Sabre Jr. and the Ace, the president, start. And Chumpy has to try to break them up, though, because here's what happens. Man, ambitious spot. Didn't go perfect, but man, I love this spot. As you guys know, anytime two wrestlers are in a clutch of some kind and go tumbling to the floor together, I am marking the fuck out. And so we get this kind of rolling arm drag thing going on between Zack Sabre Jr. and Tanahashi, and they're headed towards the ropes, and they kind of get, Tanahashi doesn't quite go through the ropes right, or not right, but he doesn't get all the way through, and they don't roll out smoothly. Chumpy has to like help them, and then they tumble to the floor in the arm drag, which is awesome. Dangerous as fuck, by the way. So dangerous to do that kind of shit. So it's one of those moves that you would think isn't very dangerous, but yeah, it could be very bad. So that was fun. They go to the outside. So Tanahashi plays mind games and getting in the ring, because they're like counting down.
Mind games.
He's they're counting down, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get in at the same time as you, just like he always does with let's put our legs down at the same time, that thing. So he did that to Zack Sabre Jr. as far as the getting in the ring, and Fujita tags in. And he's like, I want Okada. Okada's like, what? Who are you? It's great.
I'm going to swat you like a fucking fly, you little bitch.
He is like, top tier asshole Okada here. I mean, even during the entrance, he was doing a thing where he doesn't even look at him and acts like he's not even at a wrestling show. It's so awesome. So Okada destroys Fujita and just takes him right to the outside and just kills him on the outside. So he brings Fujita back into the ring, and just to show everybody he's in his heel moveset, he's like, oh, Senton Atomico? Nope. He lands on his feet and just stomps the shit out of Fujita. That's always like one of my favorite things, is when a babyface is like, oh, I'm about to do my super cool move. No. Punch, punch, punch. You know what I mean? That's always hilarious when a heel does that. So Okada basically does that. That's great. Oh, man, I love that. So Tanahashi tortures Fujita too, and finally he gets some room after hitting a drop kick. And now we get Zack Sabre Jr. versus Okada. Man, so during this, Zack Sabre Jr. just walks up to Okada and hits like a standing, like a drop kick, like an LIJ kind of drop kick, and just fucking blasts Okada in the back of the head. Like, fuck you. And it's like, man, it's so stiff. I love it. Now we get all kinds of stuff where Zack Sabre Jr., he gets both opponents in a hold at the same time, and this is the ultimate disrespect. Okada's in a leg hold. Zack Sabre Jr. is just standing there. Oh, and Tanahashi's like, what's going on? What's all this then? And walks up and Zack Sabre Jr. he gets him in a hold, and Chumpy bends over and looks Okada right in the eyes and says, "Give up! Give up!"
You could bet post-match behind the backstage, Okada's just like, hey, Marty, come here. Money clip. Gives him in a money clip.
Till he's
Let's go. Money clip
again. It just lays him down. Oh, man. That was great. That was awesome. So tremendous pro wrestling. There's a fish out of water spot and all kinds of holds and stuff between the Ace and Zack Sabre Jr. So Zack Sabre, they do all kinds of great preview stuff, and Tanahashi can't get the Dragon Screw. That's kind of the story of this like tag matches. He's trying to get the Dragon Screw. There's 30 stories in this tag match. This is one of them. And Fujita gets in versus Okada again, and he tries to get all his shit in, and he gives Okada some payback from the shit from earlier. Big chops, right? He's hitting his big chops. He's hitting big drop kicks. But Okada eventually has had enough, and Fujita goes for the win. Zack Sabre Jr. breaks up the pin with a very, very stiff kick, right? The Ace gets in, starts fucking with him. So Zack Sabre Jr. and Tanahashi are going at it. Tana finally, he hits a scary dragon screw. Like, Zack Sabre Jr. is really great at taking that. Like, I think Walker Stewart, Texas Stewart, was like worked because he was like, oh, that looked really bad. You know, so Zack Sabre Jr.'s legs fucked. Okada hits 3 running drop kicks to Fujita. Just like a move he doesn't do. He just does in this, like the running drop kick to the opponent that is kneeling. And commentary surmised that was like, oh, it's like the psycho knee or something like that. But I don't know about that. I think he was just trying to be a fucking asshole. I think the finish is what.
That's that one.
I think the finish is what, in fact, was the shout out to Bryan Danielson. So Zack Sabre Jr., he breaks up the pin. Oh, yeah, we already talked about this. German suplex with the bridge for 2 from Fujita on Okada. And then a big slap, but he runs right into the drop kick. Very fancy roll-up pin and all kinds of like lucha shit from Okada with this fancy pin and like hold he does. He pins Fujita for the win. And that, I guess that was the shot at Daniel Bryan's. That's what I'm going to call him.
Yeah, see, like I've seen quite a few wrestlers over the last couple of years because like those roll-up pins are becoming quite popular. Like do all sorts of weird kind of things. I feel like Okada was just like, which pin do I want to do from this position? This one halfway through it? No, maybe this one halfway through it. No, maybe this one instead. And still gets the pin. Like, yeah. He was sorting it out. It looked fluid as shit though too. Like, and he's doing like 500 different fucking things to Vegeta at the same time to roll him up. I'm like, okay, this guy knows more about wrestling than I do. That's for sure.
Very fancy.
Just a little bit. Yeah, very fancy. And it brings us to our main event. Is Yujiro Uemura, Taichi, the Holy Emperor and King of Pro Wrestling. Forever, not just 2023. Everyone can shut up. And Sonata versus Yota Tsuji, Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito. Is it wrong that even though come on, man, there's awesome Shingo Taichi stuff. There's even more awesome Sonata Naito stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of what I want to talk about is fucking Yuya Uemura and Yota Tsuji in this match specifically because they've had lots of previews lately, but we're getting something here because I'm looking at this match. I'm like, oh, who the fuck's gonna lose this one? There's no Doki. Oh, I'm sorry, Doki. No disrespect. Or Bushi in this match. Disrespect, man. Fuck you, Bushi. No, I love Bushi. Because I have to imagine you liked the finish. You like a decent arm drag. So I have to imagine like that finish. All right. So you, everyone, and Yoda, they're beating the shit out of each other. It's awesome. The other stuff's great too. I just want to get this finish because it looks like Yota Tsuji, he's got the freaking upper hand. And he's like, all right, it's fucking gene blasting time. And at the last possible second before Yuya is going to get fucking gene blasted all the way to the sperm bank or something, he hooks Yota Tsuji's arm, fucking arm drag, and then like 1, 2, 3, pins Yota Tsuji. I was like, all right, I don't think I've really seen an arm drag quite like that before. Like the timing of it, it's like that could have gone bad. That Oh, the timing is absolutely insane on that arm drag. And then he gets the win. And Yu Uemura's like, fuck yeah, doing the dance. And Yoda Tsuji's like, fuck you. Get out of here. Yeah. Still nothing to me. But apparently Yoda did say that, hey, Yu, if you beat me, we can have a singles match. So where could these two gentlemen possibly have a singles match coming up, Mr. Guy? And with a finish like that, and they've kind of cooled down a lot of the other returning Young Lion stories. I know you've got a bit of Shooter and Ren, but they're not having a match at Wrestle Kingdom as far as I'm aware. Where are they?
I don't know. I don't remember what Shota Umino's doing at Wrestle Kingdom. I'm assuming he is having a match versus him. I don't fucking know.
Got to be somewhere, but they've definitely heated up Yuya Uemura and Yoda Tsuji, and I like Yuya Uemura, but Yoda Tsuji lost to the champ on his debut, so I'm like, give him a Wrestle Kingdom win. Come on. That's how I go with it.
I love this match. I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the timing on everything was so cool, like you talked about, and just, you know, in general, it was awesome. Taichi's in there, it just fucking doing his Taichi shit. I was so happy. At one point, he's beating up Shingo, right? And Shingo had been a fucking dick. So the crowd's like, yes! They're all chanting Taichi's name. And so, you know, Taichi's fired up. He looks at the camera as if he is going to tell us that he, in fact, likes ska music. But guess what? We know that isn't true because the only thing he listens to, Luke, is himself. He listens to Ready to Kiss, and he listens to the Never Open Band. So it's the Never Open Pod Band. Those are the only three things that he listens to. So that's right. So, you know, we've been practicing, folks, and you just wait. Right. So anyway, I thought that's the dueling ocarina harmonica. That's what it is. So that finish was just unbelievable. It put both guys over. Something that I thought was so cool is that very late in the match, I didn't even see it happen. Yuya got his face caved in. So like, I mean, like he took an ass whooping from Tsuji before winning. So this was a really good performance for him as a babyface, getting the, you know, the sympathy and the heat and everything. And so when he gets up to celebrate his win or just acknowledge his win, he's fucking bleeding from the face. He looks like a badass. He just pins Tsuji, and Tsuji has to acknowledge that. The crowd's chanting his name. I mean, it's like, you know, it's as good as it gets in a lot of ways.
He does the good pro wrestling thing of not wiping his mouth.
Yeah, I think he split his lip or something, but man, it was just awesome. So, you know, I think it's interesting how Shota Umino had a similar moment, you know, but whereas like Shota Umino used physicality to, you know, he didn't win, but he, you know, to prove himself, you know, here we have Yuya kind of using his brain a little bit and using like skill. So it's different a little bit. I like it. I thought it was really cool. Taichi is the best wrestler, so he was in this match, and I loved him wrestling. And like you said, after the match, the fans, they want the singles match, right? And, you know, Tsuji's teasing the crowd, and Yuya even screams Tokyo Dome in the mic, right? But eventually, you know, the match is accepted, and Yuya even points to the Wrestle Kingdom video screen, which is a little much. But we also had some other important interaction here because Naito picks up the mic and tries to start doing the like LIJ thing. And Sonata's like, Sonata comes over, is like, hey, he takes the mic and he says, this is, we won. Get out of here. And Naito has to leave. What's he doing?
Fucking cheeky shit, really, isn't
funny. I love that. So that happened. And then there was more fun. I don't know if you continued to watch, but it was great, man. Sonata talks about a commercial that Just Five Guys had booked for vinegar. And, you know, he reveals that Christmas Eve is Doki's birthday. And Doki gets on the mic and the crowd's like, Doki. They're singing happy birthday. And he's like, oh, and he says like, thank you. And that's it. And then Taka tells us, you know, he tells us all about Just Five Guys as snow falls from the sky in Kurgan Hall, and Just Five Guys theme plays us out. Man, what a fucking end of a show! It's awesome.
Pretty nice way to end the year, New Japan, especially if you want to be over with the Never Open podcast, and that's with all the Just Five Guys going, yeah! I hope Doki got some good presents. I reckon Doki opens up his gift and he's like, yeah! Opens up another one. Yeah! All right, I'll stop.
He's like, it's a beer. He has to cover his face.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably a bunch of Suntory whiskey, you'd think. But yeah, Luke. Well, that's the run-up. That's Road to Tokyo Dome. I mean, are you fired up for the big show? We're going to be covering that. We'll be covering the Noah show, our best of, what's it called again? The year end. How's it go?
The year end, the best of 2023.
Top 10 list.
Top 10 list.
5-star rating.
5-star rating. Spectacular.
Something like that.
I had to do this fucking 20 times the other day. Now I can't even fucking remember it.
Well, that will be out on Christmas Day or before on YouTube, maybe. I don't know. We're going to find out. But it'll be out soon, probably on Christmas Day, wherever you are. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's a good year, Luke.
Yeah, pretty good year. And if there's people out there in podcast land that aren't doing family shit and or just don't want to listen to what their family's saying, put us on your YouTubes or your headphones, and hey, you've got this and whatever we release on the Christmases, which I'm not going to spoil, but I'm excited.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fun.
Oh my goodness. All right, so look, I know, it's the last show and all that, but we got to do a diary, right? Come on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And look, it's a Yo diary.
I got to close out the year right?
Man, I'm already like, dude, we're starting the new year with a certain gentleman with a large penis. But right now, we're up to episode 125.
Wow.
It's got his usual picture of a pen and paper and a cup of coffee.
So interesting.
It is called Itchy and Fingers. It is dated November 2nd, 2023. All right, yo. Here we fucking go, mate. If asked whether I am a light sleeper or heavy sleeper, I would say I am a long sleeper. Basically, I sleep 9 to 10 hours every day. I have an acquaintance. How do you do that? Bullshit. I have to imagine you get up like an old person and piss 10 times. Anyway, basically, I have an acquaintance who is a light sleeper, and he said to me, "Isn't it a waste of time sleeping that much?" And I replied that it's not about being lazy or slothful, but that it's an important part of staying in shape. I've always slept for a long time since I was a child. So do I, 3 matches. So it's basically, no, he's great in ring. I'm sorry. I've always slept for a long time since I was a child. So it's basically a habit at this point. It made me quite energetic as a kid. I tend to be a lot more irregular when I'm on tour, but I don't change my overall style of sleeping in and getting a lot of rest. The other day, I went to bed in preparation for the next day's game like normal. I'm a good sleeper, so I can fall asleep quickly. Of course you can. I closed my eyes. A little later, I heard a squeaking sound. The sound came from the back of the room, but gradually became louder, and I realized it was getting closer to me.
It's Gato.
Why were they still there at this time of year? It was definitely a mosquito.
Oh, wait, they make noise?
I don't know. Like, I assumed because he's some kind of big music buff that he went to sleep with some kind of sound playing or something, but obviously not. I can't go to sleep without sound. Yeah. So, I don't know. That's just me.
You know, but, maybe he has like super hearing. He probably has perfect pitch, of course.
Oh, that's right.
That's what it is. That's how he can hear the mosquito.
If you had an album in common, like a fave album in common with Yo,
Mhm.
you would be like, I like it because of this. And Yo's like, no. What you don't understand, it's the notes they're not playing
Mhm.
when they're doing this. And you're just like, shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
it's the spaces in between.
Yeah.
The spaces.
It's in between. All right. Oh, how depressing. I switched on the light and looked around the hotel room, but I couldn't see it and I didn't know where it was. I don't really dislike insects except cockroaches, and I thought that I could probably put up with a mosquito or two, so I decided to go to bed without worrying about it. When I turned off the light again and closed my eyes, I heard a squeaking sound again. But since I
He's
but since
hallucinating, right?
Yeah, he is. But since I allowed it to live with me, I had to ignore it. And after a while, I started appreciating the sound for some reason. So I decided to give it a name. And after thinking it over for a while, I named it Okaka.
What?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of kaka, the Italian word for dump.
Yeah, wouldn't it be
But
like what's the Italian word for piss?
uh, anyway, good night, Okaka. Let's work hard tomorrow. I whispered this to him in my mind and went into a dream. The next day, I was beautifully stung.
Is that it?
No,
Okay. Please explain.
there was a tiny little mound of swelling on my finger and it itched like crazy. And I couldn't stop worrying about it. Dude, you wrestle and do moves that like amaze me. I'm like, how are you still alive? All that kind of shit all the time. And yet you get a little mozzie sting and you're like, oh, my world is ending. Ah!
I mean, hide your cortisone. Just saying.
I looked around the room, but as last night, I couldn't see him. Where did he go? What a bastard. If I find him, I'll put a paradise lock on him so he can't suck blood.
He is
All right,
shit
yo.
talking a hallucinated bug, by the way.
All right, yo. I'll give you that. That was funny. And
That was
not unintentionally so, but intentionally so. All right,
Yeah,
I'll give
that
it to
was
you.
fun.
Oh, well. Please be a good lad. I packed my bags, mindful of my itchy fingers. There was still a little time before departure, and I was hungry. So I ate the mosquito? No. So I decided to go to an onigiri shop near the hotel. When I arrived at the shop, it was almost sold out, and there were only two types left: kelp and okaka. I chose the kelp without hesitation.
Yeah.
Greetings, sadness.
Hmm.
All right. So that is another in a long list of entertaining diary entries, in my opinion, from Yo. Couple
Yeah.
genuine laughs. He took the kelp. He's not talking about wrestling or giving me any wrestling anecdotes or wrestling ever. It's not his best diary. The piss of pants that's hard to beat, and the one
I
where he's
mean,
like, "I've got this taste in music." That's also hard to beat. But what do you think?
I think that he was hallucinating,
Oh yeah,
and that's fucked up. So I don't know, man. Maybe he needs to go to the doctor. I think that might be a good idea. Maybe look into some self-help a little bit, maybe go to some therapy because he's hallucinating bugs that make noises. Because I don't know of any bug that makes a squeaking noise. If he's talking about a cricket, that's a bad
yeah. That's
translation.
the
It's got
squeak
to be a
noise
bad
thing.
translation.
Yeah. I'm thinking that too. But dude, for a guy, I imagine who pisses his pants as much as he does, shouldn't he have? Is he not washing his hands enough? Like, is that the
Mm,
thing? Like, is that why he's got
mm.
like weird fingers?
That's what happened. He
I
masked
don't know.
horse grabbed him by the dick, and he didn't wash his hands after, and now everybody's sick.
Took him out of his game, big
I
time.
just wrote you a poem about that. So.
A haiku. It's very beautiful. I'll sell it when I listen back to the episode. It's rhyming poetry. Oh, that's the best
Yeah,
kind.
it's yes.
All right, everyone. This was nice. Merry Oh, sorry. Happy Christmas and Merry New Year to everyone, including you, Mr. Guy. Hello.
Hey, thanks,
Hope,
buddy. I
hope it's good
appreciate
for
it.
you.
Yeah, me too, and you too, and all that stuff. And I thought it was a good year. I mean, I would sit here and try to tell you my top 10 like things that happened this year, but that episode will be out on, Christmas Day. You guys will enjoy
That's
that
right.
quite a bit, and that is my gift to all of you, and our gift to the listeners as well. Is our end of year,
Top
spectacular.
10 list, best spectacular.
Mhm.
Yes, indeed. And hang on. Where am I? There we are. Pros.
Mhm.
All right. So, unless there is anything Mr. Guy would like to say, in President Tanahashi, we trust.
Yeah. All right. Here it goes. So we just recorded like a long time.